What's going on, guys? It's me, voice actor Baba G, here with another review of Hazbin Hotel Season 2, Episode 5 and 6. Oh my god. A lot to talk about in these two episodes, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So, Episode 5 starts with the other overlords in Hell, including ZZ and Maestro, joining Vox's side to take over Heaven, with Zestiel and Carmilla being the only ones refusing to join. In the meantime, Charlie tries to contact Emily with the intent of bringing Serpentius back to show Vox and all of Hell that redemption is possible. But when they do show up, they only brought gift baskets in order to try and make amends for the past exterminations. In the meantime, Vox held a rally for all the sinners of Hell to rebel against Heaven, while Vaggie sends Lucifer to try and scare Vox into giving up on his plans, which failed miserably. Vox is rising up in power now and is declaring war against Heaven. Charlie becomes angry at Lucifer and asks him to leave, then having an argument with Vaggie after the latter called her out for not listening to her or anyone. At the same time, Alistair, imprisoned by Vox, begins to try and break up the V's by causing a wrench between Vox and Valentino's relationship. I'm interested to see where that will go. Episode 6 picks up where Episode 5 left off, where Vox is trying to convince Carmilla to join his side, but she refuses at first, only for Vox to point out that she will do anything to protect her daughters, to which he finally relents and reluctantly agrees to help Vox in the war. At the same time, more tensions between the V's arrives, with Valentino and Velva about had enough of Vox spotlight hoarding, and often treating them like they are just second fiddle to him, something in which Alistair could use to his advantage later on in the season. Charlie and Vaggie, who are still mad at each other at the time, went to talk to Carmilla to convince her to not help out Vox, but Carmilla blames them for starting the war between Heaven and Hell. Vaggie even had a brief PTSD episode, of which we'll talk about that in a minute. While that was going on, Husk briefly quits the hotel and he went to the casino, and he briefly went back to his old ways of gambling and drinking himself to a stupor, even singing probably one of the best songs in the show. Then we see Angel Dust in drag, singing his own version of Husk's song earlier, and that whole scene gave me Jessica Rabbit vibes. It really does. It was cool to see Angel Dust finally in drag, since Viv has been teasing that for so long. After a talk with Angel Dust, Husk returns to being a bartender at the hotel. Charlie and Vaggie were able to reconcile as well, and she admits her fears of pushing people away. Vaggie does the best she can to be a supportive girlfriend to her, and they sing a pretty out-of-nowhere erotic pop song, but it's a cute song regardless. Then we get to one of the most intense and shocking scenes in the entire show. Quite literally, in fact. Angel Dust meets with Valentino at the motel, and he walks in, only to see that Vox is in there, and he begins attacking him, revealing that he hypnotized him all this time to be a spy for him at the Hazbin Hotel. Then after he captures Angel, he imitates Charlie's voice to contact Lucifer to presumably kidnap him as well, and that's where the episode ends. So yeah, oh man, those two episodes are very plot-heavy focused, and yeah, they're good episodes, but I do have one major complaint about those two episodes, that I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this way. The pacing. My god, the pacing is awful. It's a problem in season 1, but it's way worse here. I think the reason why they try to cram in so much at a time is because Amazon Prime only greenlit just 8 episodes. Well, in my opinion, I think there should be more than 8 episodes. If Hello Boss can get 12 episodes, so can Hazbin Hotel. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it really hurts the show in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I still love the show, and I still enjoyed the last 2 episodes. But yeah, they really need to increase the episode numbers in the next seasons. A lot has happened over a short period of time, and it's hard for some people to keep up with it. They have also crammed in a lot of songs too, which I don't often mind, except when there's pacing issues going on, it could also be too much to take in, you know? The Vaggie and Charlie song, while it's cute, came out of nowhere. Like, oh my lord. Again, it's not the show writers or Viv's fault, it's Amazon Prime's. The pacing of the first 4 episodes were actually better, and it flows naturally, so it's quite disappointing to see the pacing issues in this show return with a vengeance. That's my only main criticism for these 2 episodes as a whole. And I bet that it's going to unfortunately continue in the last 2 episodes of season 2. With that out of the way, what do I enjoy about these episodes? Well, I still enjoy Vox as a villain. He's really rising to power in these 2 episodes, even going up against the King of Hell himself. When they said that Vox is going to be a huge threat in this season, they weren't kidding at all. Vox is still my favorite antagonist in the entire show, and I do hope they don't kill him off in the finale, because he's too much of a fan favorite. Sure, you can defeat him, but he doesn't have to end up like Adam in season 1's finale. But we shall see what happens. I also love the scenes between Vox and the V's. There's now tension between the 3 of them. And I love that scene where Valentino was grumbling angrily in Spanish, and Vox says he could not understand his island talk, which Val threw a cup at him, yelling, "I'm from fucking Florida!" I laughed so hard after that. It was hilarious. Oh my god. And Alistair, he's reduced to, Alistair. He's reduced to somewhat of a background character in these 2 episodes, but I'm hoping it will eventually pay off of him trying to break up the V's and whatnot. It was also cool to finally see ZZ and the other overlords, but they were only in 1 song at the beginning of episode 5. And they weren't seen again for the rest of the episodes. Again, pacing issues, as I talked about earlier. It was cute to see Cherry Bomb's room and trying to watch over Fat Nuggets. He's just causing a lot of trouble for her. Oink, oink, oink. And of course, Nitty's little bug mariachi band, that was funny and adorable. And Lucifer. Lucifer was great in these 2 episodes as well. It was interesting to see him go up against Vox, and I love the song between them. It pretty much shows how Vox becomes even stronger in power, even over Lucifer himself. It makes him much more of a bigger threat than ever before, and I'm wondering how he's going to get defeated in the end. It was also cool to see Lucifer's room in this episode. It's full of rubber duckies, of course, and gifts from the other 7 deadly sins. I hope they do show up in this show at some point. It'd be cool to see a Satan and Lucifer interaction. We also get an interesting scene between Carmilla and Zestial, and we learned that Carmilla lost someone close to her in the past. Her husband. That's interesting. I wonder if they're going to touch on that more. Husk and Angel were great also. As I said, it was awesome to finally see Angel in drag, and Husk's song, Love in a Bottle, was very great, with amazing visuals and vocal performance by the legendary Keith David. We got to see Vaggy's PTSD past as an exorcist very briefly, with Adam and Lute abusing the other exorcist. I'm hoping we get to see more of that, since we saw that Vaggy once had an exorcist friend, whose name is unknown at the time. I'm sure they'll touch on that more later on down the line. Speaking of heaven, we get to see Sarah, Emily, Lute, Abel, and Serpentius again in episode 5, but we didn't get to spend so much time with them because, like I said, pacing issues. But regardless, seeing them help Charlie and go up against Vox was very cool to see, and I'm hoping for a Lute and Vox showdown, guys. Make it happen. Plus Sarah's full angelic form, like, dude, my god, she's gorgeous and terrifying at the same time, like, damn. Oh man. And lastly, let's talk about that quote-unquote shocking scene with Vox and Angel Dust. First of all, I knew it was coming. Secondly, I did not expect that Vox has been using Angel Dust all this time as his own personal spy. That really caught me off guard, and it makes sense too. Vox tried and failed to have Serpentius act as a spy in season 1, so he uses Angel Dust instead. That just comes to show how much of an evil bastard Vox can truly be, and to see him hit and torture Angel Dust was also just damn. Like, oh my god. And I thought the scene with Valentino hitting Angel Dust in season 1 was bad. This scene took it to a whole nother level. Like, oh my god. Vox even made him bleed when he hit him. And it's like, wow. And electrocuting him a few times and just really beating the holy living crap out of him. Angel Dust wasn't kidding when he said that Vox was a sadistic bastard. Like, oh, Jesus. I know a lot of people will probably start to hate Vox after this scene, but for me, it makes him a much greater villain, and he's such a great character overall. I was on the edge of my seat, and I'm worried what's now going to happen to Angel Dust this season. I swear, if Angel Dust gets killed off this season, There's going to be a lot of torches and pitchforks in the streets, unless he gets redeemed like Serpentius at the end. But again, we'll see what happens. And I'm not worried for Lucifer, too, since Vox pretended to be Charlie to trick him, which that was a cool power trick that he could do, intimidate other people's voices. And him getting frightened over the scream rain lightning at the end was pretty funny, too. It was like, what the fuck? What was that? I love it. But anyway, overall, despite its flaws, I still enjoy episodes 5 and 6, and I'm hoping that episodes 7 and 8 will be great as well. Again, Prime, increase the episode counts for the next season, please! Anyway, and to everyone out there, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And 2 more episodes to go, people. Prepare your butts.
And stay tuned.